Hello, 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 hello. Mark Atwood here. Mark Atwood Show Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. Are you staying sane? It's the ward. It just keeps giving, isn't it? It just keeps giving, keeps going on and on and on. There's very good reasons for this. I think I know the white hats are in control of everything. It's very interesting with all the military disinformation and everything that gets put out there. So I kind of ignore it and just keep plowing forward, trying to live a life. It's Monday morning here. School runs and all of that kind of normality back. And, everybody texting me, I forgot my jumper. Come and get me. You could have told me half an hour ago, that kind of thing. And I'm still drinking coffee because I haven't got all of Ian's stuff. If you saw the show of Ian Clark, he had a great coffee replacement. I've ordered all the ingredients. I'm just waiting for them all to arrive. Hello, Sandra Galloway. Good morning. Hello, Sarah the Mermaid. Hello. Hello, Rebecca Backer. Rebecca Backer? Is that a real name? Sorry, if people have been taking the piss out of that your whole life, I do apologize. It just sounds funny. Rebecca Backer. I met a guy the other day who, with a straight face, said that he was just talking to a guy called Michael Hunt. I went, Mike Hunt? Are you sure? It's the kind of thing that made me laugh at school. It still makes me laugh today. Wayne Kerr, he's another one. He was in my class. Wayne Kerr. We used to love saying that out loud to the teacher. Hello, Ann Bailey from Florida. How you doing? Jill Warsaw, Grand Rising. I still can't say it. I just said it, but I can't say it without laughing. Christina Beauregard Peterson. I'm guessing you're from the Scandinavia. Hello, Christina. Hello, Tanya Chambers. Good to see you again. Hello, Sheridan. Hello, Vicky Joe from Montana in capital letters, because it's that important. If you do it in capital letters, it's a corporation. You know that. So I'm just reply to. I'm doing this with all my window envelope letters. You know, when you get a letter that's in a window envelope, that's actually an internal memo. So you just say addressee not recognized, return to sender. Thank you very much. Oh, so love that jumper, Lorna. Well, yeah, it's cold, and this is the only jumper I've got. So the t-shirt's changed. This one today is quite good. This one we got from the States. Freedom over fear. I like that. Sandra saw Ishmael on Friday. I shook his hand in California. Interesting man. Yeah. Oh, from Denmark, Christina. Yeah, I love Denmark. Well, it's very expensive there, isn't it? Last time I went there, I just remember the Danish, or was it the Danish pop into Sweden to get booze, or the Swedish pop into Denmark? I can't remember because it was slightly cheaper in one of the countries, but there was definitely a booze run on the ferry. Brilliant tea and jumper. Thanks, Tanya. Helen Davis. Hello, lovely souls from South Wales, isn't it? Helen. Yes. That's how we speak Welsh, isn't it? Most people think I sound like a Pakistani when I do Welsh, but there we go. I've been trying to teach my kids that it's not racist to do people's accents. It's actually funny, especially if you're doing badly like me. Right. So a few things been going on. I've got some special guests, but before they come on, I'm going to pop onto Telegram because there are a few things I want to point out. If you're not on Telegram, all the links for this show are below the video. That's called the video description. Get on my email list. Number one priority. Two, all the links to all the important stuff I found over the last couple of years are down there as well. And it would be great if you engage with those. Yeah, so there's a few things that happened yesterday that I think are interesting. I'm just going to find the right button. Doobie-doobie-doo. Window. Telegram. So you should be able to see this. Can you see this? Yes, you can. So I thought it was really interesting that there's a show on Netflix called Ancient Apocalypse, which is Graham Hancock. Now, I've long been a fan of Graham Hancock, so I got a signed book from him a few years ago, and actually, I'd love to speak to him. Graham, I'm sure you're not going to watch this, but if you are, come on the show. Graham has written tons and tons of incredible books. He got taken up the pyramids, I think, when he was a kid by his grandfather or his father, and he just had this insatiable journalistic desire to find out the truth because none of it rings true. Human history does not ring true. And Graham's not, he's not archaic. He's not over there, but it's very interesting that they've put him in such a big platform with such an interesting story, especially considering Ted banned his talk and Rupert Sheldrake's talk that they both did in Ted Whitechapel. in London about 10 years ago. And the science board of TED, which is, of course, propaganda, said that it was pseudoscience. Both of them were pseudoscientists. And, Graham's talk was on the war on consciousness. He talks about ayahuasca and all sorts of things in there. And he was 100% correct. It is a war on consciousness. This war is considerable. Talking of which, I wrote a poem the other day. Do you want to hear a poem? Don't say no. Don't unsubscribe. I'm going to dig it out now because I wrote it in Telegram. It's just one of those just popped into my head. I'm going to find that. While I'm looking for that, also look in Telegram for a documentary by Tori Says. Tori Says is an amazing woman who I've also been following for a couple of years. And the documentary there is called Enjoy the Show. It's on YouTube. Let me just dig that out for you because I watched this last night. Oh, there it is. Enjoy the Show. Let's have a look at that. I don't know if that's going to show up on here. I think I have to change the screen. Yeah, director's cut. Enjoy the Show on Tori Says, Toresays. That's the YouTube channel. She's also on Telegram. And you can just go on my Telegram and click the link because it's nice and conveniently put there for you. Really, really good about mind control, CAA, which is very interesting, Central Artists Agency, and Hollywood, and how they've used Hollywood to mind control. Oh, do you see this? This is from Mark, who gave this to me at the gig in Manchester, which is just stunning. You can't really see how good it is. You put this together. This is one of my poems, There and Back Again. Ma, ha, wa, ka, ha, ti. Somebody said, that sounds like something from Hoona Flash. Well, yeah, it was. And I wrote a poem about it. And There and Back Again, if you haven't watched that poem, you can find it on the YouTube playlist. You can find it on the markatwoodshow.com. You can find it on Rumble and BitChute. I'm pretty proud of that poem because when Hoona taught me this Lemurian code, which I just did, and then he said, you go back on it. And I did a video called Dragon Riding in the Middle of Nowhere when I did this properly, which is about a year after I wrote this poem. But what struck me is that our journey from the distorted light to the undistorted light, which is what we're doing right now. And Ma is the undistorted light, for those of you that don't know. Mark Atwood. Coincidence? I don't know. The journey is that you ride these sounds, and they all unlock different things. So Ma Kawati is like the first stone, first love, etc. You can look those up. But it struck me that this was very similar to Tolkien, because Tolkien wrote a Hobbit story which was called There and Back Again, which was Bilbo Baggins' book about his journey. And There and Back Again. And Tolkien said that Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, was all based on the true history of Earth in an interview in Amsterdam in 1959. Go and look that up. Very, very interesting. So yeah, thank you, Mark, very much for making that incredible piece of. I put a load of poems up the other day. I do pop them up, and the reason I pop up poems that I've written over the last 2 years is because lots of people are new to the channel and new to this, and they haven't seen them, and they don't know where to find them, or they don't look for them. So I pop them up because they're all important to me. So where's this poem? There's some nice pictures there. I still post stuff from Linda Paris. I still like Linda Paris. Some people, it sort of triggers people sometimes because it's a little bit out there, but I've liked her for a long time. I've been posting a lot. Yeah. There's that tax thing. That must be up here soon. Here we go. Yeah, this symbol. The reason why I wanted to know about the true origin of this symbol, 115 comments. Thank you if you left a comment on that. Don't tell me it's the C&D logo. Don't tell me it was designed in 1958. This is a rune of some sort. I had a vision of this symbol. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of what it meant. And if anybody can explain that to me, I'd be very appreciative. Here we go. This war. This war is long. This war is hard. This war tests you in your own backyard. But you were chosen, you volunteered. Don't be disheartened, hold back your tears. Remember who you are, you're a point of light. Look into my eyes. Never give up the fight. It's always been a choice between love and fear. You felt it in your heart all through your years. As the end approaches, as the time does wane, you will be vindicated. Life will never be the same. There you go. Little poem for you on a Monday morning. Right. Let's get the guests on. Oh, that was good timing. What did you do there?
She just dropped her bracelet.
You're a professional performer. What are you doing?
Sorry. Hi, Mark.
Hello. How are you, girls?
Dropped my bracelet.
We always like to make our entrance exciting.
Well, you
I
certainly
was
do
just
that.
thinking, well, when you started talking on to your guests just at the very beginning, where you're talking about the funny surnames, and I was thinking of three of a funny one my dad told me, the Zarsoff brothers. Have you heard of them?
No.
Chewy, Bluey, and of course, don't forget Rudy Zarsoff.
Rudy. I think funny names are really fun. I mean, do you ever be
Aren't
about
they
the
wonderful?
you about the Russian bloke who had 3 testicles?
No, I haven't. Have you? No.
Uji Nikobolikov. See, funny names are funny. Full stop.
Oh
And,
God, sorry, my laugh's just too out there. Sorry.
We've got to keep it light. You know, it's
Yeah, we do.
You know,
We
it's
really do.
going
We
on and on and on and
Yeah.
on, and when is it gonna end?
Yeah, it's relentless. Yeah, we're kind of.
Love your poem. Love your
Yeah,
time
that was
too,
lovely.
because it is a nice ending.
Well, it is. You know, we're not optimists. Everybody should remember that.
I'm optimist.
Well, there's a lot of people being very. It's tough. This is a spiritual war, and it is. Somebody said to me, consciousness just keeps expanding and expanding. I mean, I've just done, as you know, like 35 days in the States, 2 weeks in the desert, a gig in Manchester in a monastery, and it's changed my frequency. And I'm thinking in more evolved ways, and and this is causing more trouble. Because every time you do this, you things drop off, or things move around, or people don't like it. They like,
Yes.
And I'm changing physically as well. And these are all actually positive. And I keep trying to remind everybody that you go inside and look for the mountain of light inside you. I mean, my pineal gland's gone mental in the last 2 months, and I'm seeing. I mean, I just talked about the C&D logo, which isn't the C&D logo. I'm getting visions of things like this. I'm getting visions of golden capstones on top of pyramids all over the world. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. And also I got, after we did a gig in Anaheim next to Hollywood, and I was getting this really strong vision of all these thousands of faces screaming at me, but they were like behind a like a glass wall. They couldn't get in. And then I found out from the guys in the States that this was an attack of 10,000 witches set upon us, and trying to, and people watching this should realize, these attacks are real. And if they can't get to you because you're protected, because you're doing your own protection, or you've got angelic protection or whatever else, or ET protection, they'll find a way in. They'll find a way in through people. They'll find a way in through people that you love, and then people start raging at you or doing weird stuff, and you just gotta rise above it, which is not that easy.
Especially on a daily basis.
It's not easy to maintain it, all the time.
To keep our sanity, as you said.
Yeah, but we're a bit like you. We're noticing a lot of changes physically within ourselves, feeling energy and vibration hugely now, and having more and more things happen to us. Like Claire's got light language going on. I'm just being activated with light language myself too, which is really exciting.
This was happening in the desert. I mean, one of the reasons I went to Sahara is because it's a harsh, hostile environment. The energy is really strong there. The whole trip started with somebody being run over on the way down, and it was
gosh, wow,
it was traumatic. And but the and there was lots of dark and light there, which created resistance and all this change. And and then everybody got back from there, and then they're all being ill. Feeling ill because all this stuff's coming up. And one of the amazing things about the last couple of months for me is that just getting together with all these people in all these venues around the States. I mean, that was really interesting, because the tour that we did around America formed the shape of a Q, firstly. Secondly, Lewis, who put it together, went into the dark spots of America, and then cut a long story short, I got a text one day showed me the map of the portals in America, and it was almost exactly the same route that he'd plotted out. So the very act of everybody being in those rooms at those times were, and they're all, most of them light work, because there was a lot of infiltration and darkness there as well. But that's fine. Somebody said to me the other day, "What do you think? What do you think about all the light workers that are bad or wrong, or the truthers that are bad or wrong or infiltrators?" And I said, "I don't care.
Yeah, care factor is about a big zero.
Doesn't matter, because they're, you know, it's all part of God's plan."
Yeah, without them, we wouldn't be learning anything.
Precisely. So, how you guys been?
Really good.
Yeah, we've been good. Thanks, Mark. We've did our Reiki masters on the weekend.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got some info for you that we'd love to share with you and your viewers.
Can I ask you a question about Reiki first?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I did Reiki a few years ago, and then I think it was on level 2, and it hit me. I went, hang on a minute. Where does that symbol come from? Where are we getting this from? And I said to the teacher, I said, I'm not sure this is coming from the right place. And she got a bit pissed off at me, because I think we've all got the ability with our hands anyway.
Yeah.
I was feeling people.
My brother said the same thing to me today.
I think, though, when you get the attunements, it just amplifies it so much more.
Because it's a lineage that carries down from the guy that was got the downloads, and they say it's from the Master Sui from. You don't
want to amplify my hands; they're already off the charts.
Well, that's because you've done Reiki too as well, because that really does power you up.
Yeah.
But when you do masters, it's unbelievable how it powers you up, and it goes to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And you start to understand where it's coming from.
That was reassuring.
You actually come to understand the connection to God and to Jesus.
Well, I'm getting a big confirmation.
Did you get a little goosey?
Massively, and I have to point out, I trust no one, so everything. I just question everything. That's what I'm not always right.
Good interviewer.
Just question everything, though.
Yeah.
I just want to say hello to Natalie from Florida. Hi, Natalie. Thank you. Good to see you. And Bob just made me laugh, because he always says, "Do you want a coffee?" Now he's saying green tea, anyone? I did a show the other day with Ian Clark, and he was talking me out of coffee. But anyway, over to you.
That's so hard. It's such a hard one. So just take your time with that. It's a real it's a difficult road, the no coffee road. But anyway, so we want to talk to everyone today about a course that we've just finished. Channeling from the Council of Andromeda, and our guides, God and Jesus, and it has 10 modules, and we've finished the download of it. It's taken us many months, and it was channeled by our spirit guides. Yeah, I told you that. And we've been told, and we knew this we've known this for a long time, that the course has been gifted to humanity from God, Jesus, and the Divine Holy Spirit. And it's going to help humanity restore their faith in God and Christ.
It's called, it's called the V word, the jab removal course.
Yes.
Okay, let's keep that. Let's keep that YouTube friendly. I just want to tell people watching this, if you think it sounds crazy that God put this course out there, trust me, God told me to start a YouTube channel. God told me to do a course on internet marketing, which are the links below if you want to watch the free webinar.
Yeah.
I know this is real. It's true. It still sounds a bit, sometimes I say it out loud and I go, oh,
trust us, we are constantly going, we can't believe this sometimes. It's like, what? Wow. But anyway, we'll continue on. So thank you for that. You need to have Reiki 1 and 2 as a prerequisite. And
I can do it.
Yeah. We have a few hundred already on our wait list, and we have, you can register on our website, which is wisdomhealing.com.au.
Yeah, I put the links. I put all the Venus Twins links in the description below as well. There's a Linktree link there. They deleted my account, Linktree wankers,
bastards.
Yeah,
really?
I got my Instagram account closed down while I was in a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's annoying.
And I didn't post anything controversial on there. Just pictures of me next to love signs. Just Instagramming type stuff. They just deleted the whole account.
That's happened to someone close to me too. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook just knocked him off without him doing anything. He's like, why? Why do they keep taking it?
At least he could have done a really nasty old post, but anyway.
Very random. Yeah. So we want to tell you a bit more about this amazing course that we've been gifted. And so the prerequisite is Reiki 1 and 2. We just want to tell you a few little interesting things about it without giving away too much. There's some really interesting information about meditation that will surprise the facilitators that do this course. There's a beautiful message from Jesus in the course included in it. And he is so excited about this course and wants the facilitators to become closer to him because they'll be working with him. Jesus is also fulfilling God's prophecy of healing the masses through the facilitators of our course. All who do this course are ancient beings. They are the ones who are attracted to doing this course.
This is all channel, by the way, I think.
It's not to be underestimated that this is God's work, what we are doing for humanity. It is a gift to God also because God is experiencing this through us and fulfilling his own prophecy to heal the masses. That's pretty big. When they told us that, we were like, wow.
Yeah, we kind of didn't breathe for a few seconds.
And
yeah,
during our work over the last few months of meeting many people all over the world and giving them readings and healings, we've been channeling Mary Magdalene more often and Jesus Christ. And when we do a reading for someone, they can sometimes come through, particularly if this person is interested in doing this course.
What was I saying just before you came on? Ma, First Light, Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, beautiful.
And when we did the event in Manchester, one of the healers there was channeling, and I know Mary Magdalene was at that place. It's really interesting how she's popped up in my consciousness.
Isn't that lovely? She's beautiful. She often comes in and shows me visions of her washing the person's feet.
Come and do mine.
She just ask her.
I need a pedicure. Mary Magdalene pedicure, please.
She comes through and blesses. She blesses these people to heal the masses, and so does Jesus. Yeah. And another part of it is getting to know thyself and developing a beautiful connection with God and Jesus through loving the self and being made aware of the importance of this to heal others and the self is part of the course.
And this is a very cool bit that we were just not expecting, I guess. So at the end of the module, the last module, a declaration was made by the council on the 24th of November this year to both of us, and that this is included in the course. And they said, we, the Council of Andromeda, have all come to an agreement and made the group decision to make a formal declaration that every single healing that takes place using every step, so they have to follow each step of the God-given course, will be a success. And they declared it in the presence of God Almighty, Jesus Christ himself, and the divine Holy Spirit. And they finished it off saying, so it is done and stated, and all is well. In Jesus' name, this course is blessed. Stunning. So we just said, why, thank you.
Is there a link to this in the Linktree link?
Yes. If you, for anyone who wants to do this course, it's on our
website. So
under courses.
So the Linktree has the website, and then there's an actual menu heading at the top that says courses, and they just have to click on that, and then they can register their name if they're interested, their name and email, and then they'll get updates from us regularly about how it's going.
Because we haven't yet put it into a format online yet. We're just in the process of doing that. We need to make videos and things to add to it. And
my advice is to do it live.
Oh, right.
And you record the lives, then you're making the course as you go along, but up to you.
Oh, we never thought
a lot
of
more
that.
efficient. It's a lot more efficient than spending 6 months making it, because then people are waiting 6 months because you can't put it up until you finished it. So you might as well just
get it on there.
Yeah.
Well, we might consider doing that as well. Something to think about.
We are doing that. Or recording them live.
Oh yeah,
videos.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. So, and then they came through and said, this is a divine heavenly healing and not medical in any way. So our facilitators are made quite aware of this, apart from taking note of people's symptoms before and after the healing. Facilitators are guided in detail about the boundaries that they must stay within, and a disclaimer the council also provided. So the disclaimer is the jab removal is a beautiful energetic healing that has no medical guarantee, and that is only guaranteed by the Council of Andromeda, better known as the Council of Zene, your galactic soul family. But this leads to some really cool and exciting news that we just received today.
Cool.
Yeah, which is
Is it
amazing.
going to make it YouTube friendly?
Yes.
Oh, certainly. Yep. Do you want to talk about this lady that we met? We can't mention her name yet because she wants to remain anonymous at this point.
Yep. So we've met someone today. Well, not face to face yet, but we've spoken to her. We're going to be meeting her. We've already made a time. We've been guided together. So we've been divinely guided to an amazing master researcher. That's how she refers to herself, but she's actually a biochemist. So she works with biochemistry, analysis, and modulation. She's an expert on blood work. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
She combines quantum physics, biochemistry, and spirituality. So she's awake and a lot like us, very spiritual. She's trained with people like Bruce Lipton. Have you heard of Bruce?
Biology of Belief, one of my heroes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Epigenetics. And also Louise Hay. She's trained with her. But she's one of the top people in her field in the world.
Yeah.
So we've been brought together by our guides, and she's going to be working in collaboration with the two of us. And this is specifically for select jab removal clients who present with more complicated things going on. I'm trying to keep it friendly, brought on by the you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Our guides told us this is where we are guiding you both towards helping these beautiful souls even further. Because, yes, we remove this, but the other ailments can be healed using this collaboration.
Her
The
biochemistry.
biochemistry results and our spiritual healings combined together. So, in other words, it's to understand more fully the body chemistry of some of our more unwell clients. And also it gives some clients scientific proof and reassurance that the removal actually works, because she can provide before and after incredibly accurate, incredibly extensive blood work.
Yeah, she looks at markers, and she has the ability to, look in the fine detail of these particular markers that regular, let's say, physicians and don't really understand. She's a complete geek, she told us. So that was amazing.
She's an expert problem solver for people with...
Well, it said in the Bible, the geek shall inherit the earth. Oh, it was me. Sorry.
Right. So then we want to tell you about something else, if that's okay, Mark.
Sure is. I love it when you tell me stuff.
Oh, cool. All right. So we have been given some information too about a group account, another council that we've been told we're a part of, and we're going to be talking to Gene Decode about that this Thursday.
Oh, well, listen, if you speak to Gene Decode, can you tell him I've been trying to get hold of him for 2 years, and he keeps quoting Mark Atwood as this author of these books that I never wrote.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
So his research was a bit off there. But
so we're just thrilled to be able to speak to him. So.
Yeah. He's been a hero the last couple of years. I love his work.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to him about all things galactic. So that'll be a very interesting one. But we're going to we were told recently that we've been getting this through our client work, and Georgie and I, this is often happens. We come together and we go, well, we need to talk to them, ask them more about this. So this is how it comes into our awareness, that we are called the 12 Star Mothers from Venus. So Georgie and I, and there's 10 others, and we've met them all through our healing work, and they're dotted around the world.
There's 7 here in Australia, and the others are in other parts of the world.
That's a disproportionately large number in Australia. What's that all about?
Well, hotspot maybe, don't know.
We don't know. We might ask Jean that.
Around Australia, Canada, US, UK.
It's one in the UK.
Why is there never anybody from Uganda or India or somewhere
Yeah, I know.
where they
I
don't
know.
speak English?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a good question.
Well, they
It's
don't.
a really good question.
Some of them are in countries where they may not speak English, but they do.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
question.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't know. But this is what they've told us. All right, so we're 12 star beings that hold the important light code keys to the universe and beyond, and that we are creating the new Earth by activating these light codes within the cells of humanity. And these codes are essential for Earth's ascension into the fifth, and that they're placing these codes within individuals such as, us two and the other 10. Okay. Do you want to read that bit? Yeah.
Yeah, the 12 star mothers are ancient feminine beings that originated in the Pleiades star system. We are beings of love, light, and creativity. And the main purpose of us being a group of 12 is sacred geometry. So there's lots to go into about these numbers, as I think you have sort of touched on as well, Mark, and some of the stuff you've been doing recently on your Telegram. But it's sacred geometry. And to explain it in a simpler way, they said to us, the 12 becomes the 9 minus 3. The 9 becomes the 6 minus 3. The 6 becomes the 3 minus the 3. And the 3 becomes the 0 minus the 3. It all sort of refers to Tesla too, and the 369 and 12 being the sacred number. So, the sacred number 3, God's Holy Trinity, is a holy number, and we work with God at all times. So we are always in perfect alignment with him in our geometrical sphere of existence. This is the 12 star mothers.
Yeah.
There are 12 of us, and we have 12 aspects of ourselves. So each one of us has 12 aspects here on Earth as well. They said it's like a baby could be born on one continent normally and then travel around with its parents maybe as it grows up. They said you were born on every continent, referring to us.
Oh,
No,
you.
referring to us. Yeah,
something like that.
Well,
these
12
to sort of explain.
aspects of you of the 12 is 144.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
So they said
Yeah.
12 times 12 is 144. The 144 is the 12 star mother's final number. So therefore, it is the number of star beings that is required to activate the new Earth aurora. You are one of these activating light sources, you and Claire, and the other 10 of the 12 star mothers as well. Other humans are not receiving the same light codes as you are, the 12 star mothers. So the 12 of you beings here on Earth representing us are so powerful that the Earth is actually dependent upon the integration of these light codes within your light bodies and your auric fields for her ascension. The information contained in these light codes is so important because they contain the DNA sequencing of Aurora. You are the human embodiment holders of the new Earth Aurora's DNA. This is a lot to take in and understand, but the frequency of your new selves that we are talking to can withstand it. The keys to the new Earth's heart, so Aurora's heart, are also being held in your combined 12 human bodies. So when the time is shown to you all, the heart of Aurora is to be activated, and you 12 star mothers here, representing us, yourselves, here on Earth, are going to unlock the heart that is currently under guard to open in a beautiful and glorious ceremony.
That's really interesting.
I
feel
What
like.
do you think about that?
What do I think?
Yeah.
There's a number of things. Firstly, my heart's under guard. I wrote a poem about my heart being under guard 30 years ago.
Wow, Mark, that's interesting. That comes up a lot in our healings.
Yeah, and also thanks Kathy Rennick for reminding me. But if you look at the latest post here from number 17, what is coded in your DNA? Who put it there? Why? Mankind is repressed. We will be repressed no more. Information is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Information is power. How do you protect your DNA? There is a war for your DNA. DNA protects your DNA ascension. This is getting very interesting.
Well, we are.
Because that all ties up.
Glad we can understand on that level, because there's so many layers to all of this, of course.
Well, I've been saying, I was in the States going, look, 97% junk DNA. No, it's not junk. And it is being activated. And, just on an anecdotal basis, talking to people in the audiences, asking them who's receiving more psychic information, who's getting more vision, who's getting more of the truth bumps, you know, and everybody was like, yeah, because it's happened. You know, we're in that process.
Mm.
Yes,
This all
absolutely.
ties up.
Yeah, so we were told, okay, so this is that we need to tell the world that the keys to Aurora's heart, 5D Earths, are held in our DNA, and that the other 10 star mothers, and the others 10. This role, they said, of mother is coming to make more sense now, isn't it? They said to us. The birth is dependent upon the mother. You are the birthing mothers. Aurora has been born, and we are the birthing mothers who are all helping to deliver Aurora by loving ourselves here on Earth. The heart and her auric field is yet to be activated. So to activate the heart and auric field of Aurora, you need to hold the keys to her heart and soul. So the 12 star mothers hold these keys in each of their hearts and their souls together and not separately, only together. So it's only the 12 of us together, this is what we've been told, that can activate the heart and soul of Aurora. So we need to come together when God is ready to activate the heart and soul of Aurora in the near future. Yeah. So we also apparently hold they said we are from the Pleiades star system, and we hold the keys to the new Earth Aurora. And we also hold the keys to Gaia too, as we are the group who birthed Gaia also. She needed us to help her open her heart and soul. We do this for all planets. We are the mothers of the galaxies and universes who help each new planet to be birthed. The mothers who help God to activate the 12 strands of DNA in all races of beings on all planets. We are here on Earth to activate the 12 strands of DNA in all humans that ascend to Gaia's 5th dimension. So when they ascend in the solar flash, you are the ones, or we are the ones, the 12, who help them to ascend by activating their 12-strand DNA. They told us that we have 12 strands activated now. And do you want to read this part, Georgie?
Mm-hmm. So they also said that they would like our audience, tribe, whoever's watching, as we speak about this topic, to help by sitting in prayer to God and Christ, to pray for Aurora and her birthing pains to be lessened by your combined prayer. The birthing pains, the residual birthing pains, will be lessened because, yes, she has been born. It is the afterbirth stage now that needs to be born as well. The afterbirth, the spiritual planetary placenta, is yet to be released from the cosmos. This process needs collective consciousness prayer to help this release, so ask everyone to do that. It means that the completion stage of the Great Awakening is nearly over. The Great Awakening, the people of Earth awakening, is almost done. Can you see how it ties together? The birth is akin to the awakening of the humans on Earth. We are at the delivery of the placenta now, so the afterbirth is yet to be delivered, and the planet of Aurora is still connected to the placenta, and the umbilical cord still needs to be energetically cut by God because it is not ready to be disconnected yet from you 12 star mothers. This process happens with every single planet that is born by God. By the love and compassion of Christ, it is always the same, but not always with humans being awakened, but beings of all kinds being awakened.
Sounds like you need to have a party soon.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's a planetary lifespan and how it all relates to us being one with all. It's the completion of a cycle on Gaia and the beginning of a new one.
Hallelujah.
And Diamond in the chats just said, have you guys heard about the animals walking in circles around the world?
Yes.
Now, I saw some of these videos the other day of these animals just going around in circles. And that was just after watching a Michael Tellinger video on Rumble when he talks about things like Adam's calendar and Stonehenge and all of that, because the Earth, Gaia, uses sound waves which create cymatics, which you know, and that's why I started talking at the start of the show about the timing of Graham Hancock's Ancient Apocalypse series, because he's proving beyond doubt that the advanced technology to do with the energies of the Earth are all around us and have been all this time. So all of this hooks up. But one thing that's interesting to me at the moment, I was watching a Simon Parkes video yesterday when he was talking about the fact that it's, you know, this great awakening might not be the big thing that everybody expects it to be, which I'm not sure about, because 17 talks about scare event necessary, and everything seems to be gearing up for an event. And the Bible says humanity will fall to its knees and reach out for God. So scare that all ties in. By the way, anybody watching this that wants to dig deeper into this kind of thing, I do highly recommend a friend of mine that I met in the States called Ethan Lucas, who's written this book here called The Jesus Q Connection, which I think is which is a really
very cool.
I think we would like to read that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. And Ethan knows more about scripture than anybody I've ever met. And I had this a while ago that the 17 is definitely connected to divine consciousness. So
yeah,
and it all kind of links up. And also somebody just pointed out who was that? Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. I forgot to read that other post where it says, "Be aware of false prophets. I am not a prophet. You are not a prophet. We are not prophets. Focus on the mission." That totally lines up with everything I've been saying. I'm not a guru. You're not a good. Nobody is a guru.
No.
Some of us are channels and doing God's work and doing our best, being flawed human beings.
See, I even have a problem being called a Reiki master. I don't really like that term.
But we're feeling so strongly too, more and more, that this is about everybody returning to their faith in Creator God.
Yes, 100%. That's what it's all about. I said this hit me on tour. I said, well, I've been saying this for a few months now. A truth seeker is really a God seeker, because the more truth you look, the more you look into truth, the more you realize, oh, it's all about God. It's all about your Creator. And people who deny that are swimming uphill in treacle. It's just not going to go anywhere.
I've been facing a lot of people, in my sort of close, circle who are, believe that there's, God, this Messiah complex and all of this sort of stuff, and that we're, if we're infinite beings, then there can't be a creator, things like that. So it's challenging.
It's all challenging. Everything's a test. Life's one great big initiation ceremony, and we have to break out of these patterns. Everybody's stuck in these patterns of behavior that they don't realize they're stuck in. And the biggest problem we have is codependency on the state mainly, but in all our relationships.
Well said. Yeah.
Can I touch on animals circling again too?
Yes, please. Yeah.
How incredibly beautiful are some of those circles from above too, and perfect. I noticed that, but we asked the question actually of our guides and the council, why are the animals all circling at the moment? And they said because Gaia has officially ascended to the 5th dimension, and so have they, and that is their way of celebrating. That is their way of all
walk around in circles. Brilliant.
And celebrating with Gaia and letting everyone know that that's
their idea that
they are in the 5th dimension. That's the answer we were given.
Yeah, well, I'm
round
getting
and round we go.
I like that.
It's quite lovely, isn't it?
It's their celebration dance.
Yeah, cool.
The fish are doing
round and round the tree.
Somebody showed me the video the other day and said, "Oh, it's freaky, it's scary," and I was like, "Well, I wasn't getting that vibe. I was getting like, that's pretty cool."
Celebrationary.
Yeah. So but there's gonna be people watching this who are still like stuck in the 3D, still poverty consciousness, still stressed by things, still concerned, still searching for intel. How does that? Because I've often said there's like 1 foot in 3D, 1 foot in 5D, and we're kind of flipping between the two. I mean, I've tried to have a normal life, but it just doesn't work because I have to keep flipping back to this because this is my mission. And even someone very close to me recently said, all these fairies, angels, and UFOs, it's all a bit much. You're in a cult. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm really not. It's like, how do you see a dragon made of light go above your head, or a big spaceship in your back garden? How do you see those things and not get affected by it? You can't just ignore it. You can't go back to the TV,
No. They're missing out on such great conversations.
Yeah.
And experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason Q's in the show. Hello, Jason Q. Wow. What time is it there? 3 a.m?
What time is it here in Australia?
It's only 11 p.m.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
We
I don't even
also
know what day it is. It was only
you
this
had-
morning. I was like, oh,
Oh.
fuck, it's Monday. I've got to do school lifts. I've got to respond to emails. By the way, if you got anybody's emailed me, not had a response, I'm working through them. It's quite hard.
It must be that must be a full-time job for you doing those emails. Oh my gosh.
It is. It is. It is.
Wow.
But I will get to you guys. So let's carry on. Where have you got anything else?
We sort of come to the.
We talked to the guides a little bit about, you know, the significance of the number 12, and there's just so many, like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the 12 months of the year, the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Isn't it really 13 months though?
Well, some people think that, but
Well, yeah, this is just
13 signs of the zodiac as well.
that's you said that today, didn't you?
possibly.
So the Bible meaning of 12, the kingdom of God has 12 gates, guarded by 12 angels. The 12 signifies perfection. 12, 12, 12 signifies God and is associated with the government of the cosmos. 12.
I don't want a government of the cosmos. So don't tell me we've got a government means mind control. I've had enough of them.
Well, that was from Google, by the way.
There are laws of the universe.
You've got to be careful.
Yeah.
No, listen to this bit. This is interesting. So each one of the 12.
That was our Google search bit.
Yeah, each one of the 12 star mothers have 12 aspects of themselves here on Earth, which we already mentioned. That comes to 144, which is God's perfect number. And it's also the number of the perfect dilation of the stars of the universe. It's the number of planets in the universes that are made by God each time he creates new planets. So he always creates new planets in multiples of 12.
And it just hit 12 p.m. here.
No.
Ooh. So you are the birthing mothers of these planets, and you are 12 too. We work with God in God's perfect numbers. So he always works in multiples of 12 for everything he creates. And then I said, so an example would be Tesla too, who discovered the 369, which comes to 12 every way you sort of work it. And they said he discovered God's perfect numbers, and in the ways he used them, he created the perfect things he wished to create with them. So they are the numbers of creation.
Yeah, well, I think that's also why they shifted from miles to kilometers all over the place. It's all this decimalizing things just to break up frequencies. You know, I was talking to kids about this yesterday. I was like, "God, how fast does car go, Dad?" And I said, "Well, this is in kilometers. I don't do kilometers." And they're like, "Why not?" I tried to explain it to them, but you know, it is very, very interesting, and I think more of this is coming to light. And if you do share information on this show, please make sure it's from the council and not from Google.
Yeah, sorry. But that was just like, you know, well-known things I was saying, you know, about.
I know.
Bit boring, sorry.
And the other thing we wanted to say was we are serious about the Maldives next year.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because we did talk about that like 3 months ago, I think, when you last came on the show. And funnily enough, I was on the phone to Mauritius this morning, which is just down the road from the Maldives. And I think I told you.
We heard some more really cool information about the islands there. Someone we've met went and stayed on Malayhu. Have you heard of Malayhu? I know there's a lot of islands, but she said
sounds like a sauce.
She said it is an organic island in the Maldives, and it's part of the purity of the biosphere there. So there's an abundance of sea life and pure healing energy on this island and a few others around it. So they're in a particular position to do with ley lines.
But we're going Malayhu. We're trying to find it on the internet. We
don't know how to
get the spelling right.
We'll have to ask her. But she said it was the most incredible place in the Maldives, and the energy there was incredible. So that's
Malayhu.
That's one.
If anyone knows where that is, put it in the chat.
Yeah,
I think I've got it.
Oh.
Milaidhoo.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh what? That's a very unusual spelling.
Okay.
Well, you know, because I'm quite familiar with that part of the world, and Milaidhoo. It's got a D.
How lovely! That sounds much better than what we spelled it.
Well, that's because I'm doing it with proper English. You're doing it in Australian, so that's obviously why you can't spell it.
Yeah, we're going with how we heard it.
Malayhu.
Yeah. G'day. I mean, I'm up for this because of my daughter's been nagging me to go. Just as a reminder, I've just realised for you guys, if you want to get Ethan Lucas's book on 17, The Jesus Connection, it's on ethanlucas.com. I didn't mention that earlier. Highly recommend that. And Jason Q, who's in the chat, did the intro, I think. Did you do that, Jason? I think you did. So let's have a look here. I'm just going to show people a picture of this place because it is stunning down there. And what do you want to do there exactly?
We want to get people together, in the central part of the world to come together and just talk. We don't really want to offer activities, and we just want to be able to bring people together.
I could live there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That looks nice. We don't want to make it a full-on action-packed, itinerary.
lovely?
We're thinking more along the lines that
I'm in.
a gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
It's just beautiful, and I think it would, just take.
Well, I told you, I've got connections with all the luxury hotel groups down there because I did a lot of work.
Yes.
I was a keynote speaker in Mauritius at a conference for 600 barristers on a massive colonial hotel, which was stunning on the beach.
Mauritius itself is a beautiful place too.
Literally, the day before this all hit.
Wow.
Wow, is that right? The day before.
Yeah, and I was like a VIP on the plane, and they zapped me with a gun as I walked through, and I didn't even see it coming. And this is before I knew that it affected the pineal gland.
Yeah.
And I just remember being in Paris airport, seeing like 10, 20% of people wearing masks. I was like, and the feeling, I remember the feeling going, oh, it's here. Fuck, it's here at last. But anyway, that's another story. I think we'll get a lot of people coming to the Maldives. Let's have a chat off air and set something up.
Yes, we definitely want to pursue it. So yeah, we'll be in touch about that.
There's so many people in our tribe already. And
we've got some who are willing to get involved with us to help too, that have great qualifications to do that. So together we can hopefully bring something amazing into place.
No, definitely. I think that's what it's all about. As I said earlier on, all this meeting of other truthers and all the people that have watched this stuff it's incredibly powerful, the work that we're all doing, because it's all activation light codes. That's exactly what's been going on, even if you're not aware of it, because you're multidimensional. Don't forget, that's what's happening. That's why it's really important to go to these things. It's also really important to be out and about. I mean, I talked on the American tour about, they just waved me in. They just wait, and people are going, how did you get in without this? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you online, but they waved me in. They waved me in. And I think that's part of my job, is to just go and do stuff, just to show people that you can just, that's what you're going to do. Go and do stuff, live in the present moment, live beyond the theater, understand you're manifesting your reality, just keep going back within, meditate.
That's amazing. I love that.
And imagine the manifesting that can be created.
Jason says this week's going to be massive. You're going to have to come on and do a show now, Jason. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's all right. That's okay.
We don't have too much more than that for you today, Mark, But
imagine if we all come together in somewhere like the Maldives, what we can create together.
Yeah.
It's not just
hopefully a big barbecue.
Yeah.
Big beach barbecue.
Big barbie with two blonde
big
birds
huge
from Australia.
bonfire. I mean, I'm sure you've had, this wonderful experience in the, in the desert. Well, now it's time to go to the sea.
No, it's resonating with me, and I do want to go. My daughter will be very happy. She'll be there in a shot.
It is very expensive,
but that can be worked around, as in we can arrange something if we have the numbers, can't we?
Yeah, there's always ways around everything. Well, if people watching this go and do my course, make some money and just come. That's what I do. I just create money. It's been lovely speaking to you. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to shoot now. Have a lovely day.
Thanks for having us again,
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate your time. And
don't forget, guys.
We love your jumper as well. It's just lovely colour.
Well, this was nearly given away in America. Lewis Holmes tried raffling it, and then the person that won it said, I can't do anything with this. Do you want it back? And I was saying, yes, please. It's my favourite jumper.
It's a beauty.
It looks like a beautiful hand knit.
It's a Donegal knit. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be wearing this.
I've got one of those in my wardrobe from Ireland.
The next 4 or 5 months, I think I'll be wearing this every day.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit chilly. But it's lovely to see you both. Thanks, everybody, for watching. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Ta-da,
Thank you.
Bye.